Look who's here. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo joins me now. Mr. Secretary, do you believe COVID was the result of a lab leak?
Good morning, Stuart. To hear Dr. Fauci say that, I brought a little smile to my face, but the truth is it's really sad. Dr. Redfield has this exactly right. Every stick of evidence that we saw, beginning in the very beginning of 2020, and Dr. Redfield was a CDC director when I was a Secretary of State, every piece of evidence we saw suggested this came from the lab, and as more evidence has unfolded, it becomes even more conclusive. This virus came from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It was an accidental leak. It happened in the fall of 2019, and Dr. Fauci continues to tell the American people a lie about what happened. He tried to close it down during the administration, and he's still trying to convince people by throwing smoke in the air, dust in the air, that says, well, we still don't really know what happened. We know what happened, Stuart.
Is it possible for the United States and the world to stop gain-of-function research, which may be at the heart of this problem?
Well, we can do two things for sure, Stuart. We can make sure we don't conduct this kind of research here. And then second, we can make sure that American taxpayer dollars, American support and financing don't go to having it happen someplace else. If some other country decides to do it, suppose they'll have their own sovereign capabilities. But we can sure be determined to make sure that the United States doesn't support dangerous research that puts people's lives at risk all around the world.
President Biden's budget includes $842 billion for the Defense Department. That is up 3.2%, but it doesn't keep pace with inflation. If you were the president, by how much would you raise defense spending?
Stuart, a couple ideas here. First, you're right, it doesn't keep pace with inflation. It'd be very important we get inflation down for that reason and thousands of others that you talk about on this show all the time. We should never forget that the military's costs rise, and as do the costs for our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and so their paychecks aren't going as far either. As for the right number, I don't think we're that far off from the correct number for total defense spending. But the shame of it is, the mistake, Stuart, is that we're not allocating those resources correctly. More focus on great power struggle between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party. Less focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion instruction. That would be a good first step.
Mr. Secretary, the cartels responsible for kidnapping and killing Americans, they say they dealt with the men responsible. Are they afraid of a potential U.S. military response?
Well, the United States needs to be sure that we do this right, Stuart. I don't know what's in their minds if they're afraid of a military response from the United States, but we've not shown the willingness yet to even secure our own southern border from folks coming into our country. I think the chance that this administration is going to do something inside of Mexico is very, very low. We know we have this responsibility. If there are those who are killing Americans, if there are terrorists on our southern border, we have both the legal right and the responsibility to make sure we protect America. I hope the administration will do that, and I hope, more importantly, the Mexican government will permit us to do the things that need to be done, not only for Americans, but to keep Mexico and Mexico's sovereign safe and functioning in a way with the rule of law inside their own country. I know that they want that. I know that they need that. There's good leaders down there. We got to get them to the right place.
Got it. Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State. Thanks for joining us.
Stuart.
Always a pleasure. Thanks very much indeed, sir.
You have a great day, sir. So long.
Thank you.